In a realm where twilight lingered longer than anywhere else, nestled between rolling hills draped in perpetual lavender dusk, lay a garden unlike any other. This was the Moon Petal Meadow, a sanctuary where the most extraordinary flora bloomed only under the silvery gaze of the night. And its keeper was a gentle soul known only as Ilara's gardener. He was a figure as soft and silent as the mist that often wove through the meadow. His cloak, the color of deep twilight, seemed to absorb the last hues of sunset, leaving him almost one with the shadows. Each evening, as the first whispers of night began to stir the leaves of ancient willow trees that bordered the meadow, Ilara's gardener would emerge from his humble stone cottage, a lantern of softly glowing moonstone held gently in his hand. The mist, a constant companion in Moon Petal Meadow, would begin to stir as he walked, tendrils of it swirling around his ankles like curious spirits. It wasn't a cold or damp mist, but one that carried the scent of night-blooming jasmine and the faint, sweet fragrance of the moon petals yet to unfurl. His work began as the first slivers of moonlight pierced through the dissipating clouds. He would walk slowly among the velvety moss that carpeted the ground, his footsteps barely disturbing the quiet. He carried with him a small pouch of shimmering stardust, gathered from the highest peaks under the clearest skies. This stardust wasn't scattered carelessly. With a delicate pinch, he would sprinkle it at the base of each sleeping moon petal bud. As the stardust settled, it seemed to awaken a subtle magic within the buds. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, they would begin to stir. Their petals, tightly closed during the day, would start to unfurl, revealing colors that seemed to hold the very essence of the night sky. Deep indigo, soft lavender, shimmering silver, and the palest, most ethereal white. The process was a silent ballet under the moonlight. The only sounds were the gentle rustling of leaves in the night breeze and the soft tinkling of tiny bells that hung from the tips of some of the taller moon petal stalks, catching the breeze like whispered melodies. Ilara's gardener moved with a patient grace, his movements deliberate and calming. He would gently turn the faces of the newly opened blooms towards the moon, as if allowing them to drink deeply from its light. He would examine each petal, his touch as light as a butterfly's wing, ensuring each flower was healthy and vibrant. As the moon climbed higher in the inky sky, the Moon Petal Meadow would transform into a breathtaking spectacle. Thousands of luminous blooms would blanket the landscape, their soft glow illuminating the swirling mist, creating an otherworldly scene of tranquility. And from each open petal, a fine, shimmering dust would drift into the air. The moon petal pollen, imbued with the magic of the night. This pollen wasn't like any other. It carried with it the essence of peaceful dreams. As the gentle night winds carried it beyond the meadow, it would find its way to sleeping minds, soothing worries, calming anxieties, and painting the landscapes of slumber with hues of serenity and wonder. Sometimes weary travelers who had lost their way in the twilight would stumble upon Moon Petal Meadow. Ilara's gardener, ever watchful, would approach them silently, offering them a cup of warm moon dew and gesturing towards a bed of soft moss beneath the glowing flowers. As they rested, the moon petal pollen would gently envelop them, carrying away their fatigue and filling their dreams with peaceful visions. Ilara's gardener never spoke. His presence was a silent reassurance, his work a testament to the quiet magic of the night. He was a caretaker of dreams, a silent guardian of tranquility, his life intertwined with the rhythm of the moon and the blooming of his ethereal flowers. As the first hint of dawn began to paint the eastern sky with strokes of pale pink and gold, the moon petals would slowly begin to close, their luminous colors fading into soft hues of dawn. The mist would thicken, gently veiling the meadow once more, ready for its daytime slumber. And Ilara's gardener, his work complete, would return to his cottage, carrying with him the quiet satisfaction of a night spent nurturing dreams. But the magic he helped to create would linger, carried on the morning breeze, a promise of peacefulness that would last until the moon once again graced the sky and the moon petal meadow bloomed anew. So, as you settle into your own quiet space tonight, perhaps you can imagine the gentle glow of the moon petal meadow and the silent work of Ilara's gardener. And maybe, just maybe, a tiny speck of moon petal pollen will drift your way, carrying with it a whisper of serenity and the promise of the sweetest dreams.